Hey everybody, Nate the Gamer here, and today I'd like to talk about a game that I was planning on talking about in my PAX East 2018 recap, a video that was never made. The game is called Just Shapes and Beats. So what is Just Shapes and Beats exactly? Well, Just Shapes and Beats is a bullet hell style game. That's pretty much it. You basically avoid all the pink stuff that you see on screen, and you have to survive to the end of the song. And at the end of each level, you're graded depending on how many times you died and what else you did during the round. So elaborating more on the gameplay, you move around the screen and you have a dash button, and it's actually pretty helpful because you get a temporary burst of invincibility, meaning that you can go through basically anything just as long as there is a little space for you to rest. So you can take upwards of 4 hits before you either have to go back to the start or go to the last checkpoint. And if you're playing with friends, you can get revived just by getting run over. Speaking of multiplayer, Just Shapes and Beats was designed to be a couch multiplayer game, so you and 3 other people basically get to, help each other out and get through the song. And thankfully, if you have no friends like me, there is a online mode so you can play with a bunch of strangers online, so that's a good thing. Now within the multiplayer modes, both local and online, you play something called Challenge Run, which means you get 2 songs and a boss battle. And honestly, if you pick up this game, just go straight there with your friends, if they all have copies of the game as well. And it is honestly a pretty hectic and fun experience because you don't know what you're gonna get. Now you hear me talking about songs, but what are they? Well, a main draw of Just Shapes and Beats, apart from the gameplay, is that it's synced up to licensed music. So if you know any of these artists that I'm gonna list right here, they're in the game. And honestly, this is both good for the game and bad for the game, and I'll explain why. It's great for the game because the music in there is great. One of my favorite tracks is Long Live the New Fresh by Dan Mulcanen, and that song, that as well, that's a really good song. And the reason why this also kind of harms the experience is because 1, it's licensed music, so if the contracts for these ever run out, the game has a risk of getting taken down. It's also bad for people that want to make videos as well because it has licensed music. So hopefully this video doesn't get taken down because of copyrighted material. So moving on to the graphics of the game, you may notice that the game doesn't really, have much. It's basically just a bunch of geometrical shapes, which is kind of in the name. And I honestly really do like this graphics choice. It's very minimal, and depending on what song you choose, it might be designed a different way. So a good example of this is the level with the song Try This. It's basically a diamond heist. And honestly, I was pretty amused when I saw this at first. It was just so creative and it was so unexpected. Here are some levels that I deem are pretty good because of the way they use the music along with the level design. This is what I really like about the game. It's just the fact that the developers managed to sort of turn the song into some sort of a, visual sort of story. Speaking of which, Just Shapes and Beats does have a story mode. The plot was pretty simple to follow. This weird sort of tentacle dude is an asshole. He stole this tree that basically gives him superpowers, and you have to go stop him to bring order to whatever place you live in. The campaign mode was pretty short, but really it did teach me the ropes within the game and how to get better at some songs. Character designs are actually pretty cute as well. There's a little boat you have to float, there's a helicopter guy. It's a nice little different mode to play if you're kind of sick of playing Challenge Run for whatever reason. There are a couple complaints I have with this game, but they're honestly pretty minimal. For one thing that's pretty technical that could probably be fixed within an update is that there are some times where the game sort of lags, both online and offline. And it doesn't really help because, you gotta have, split-second reactions to get through a lot of these obstacles. So if the game starts to, lag a little bit, it's not really gonna do you any favors. Another complaint I have is sort of the music shuffling choices within Challenge Run. Basically, it's kind of the same every time, and it honestly kind of gets a little repetitive after a while. But really, those are the only complaints I have. Just Shapes and Beats is a pretty solid game, and for 20 bucks, you're gonna have a lot of fun with your friends. So in conclusion, Just Shapes and Beats is a pretty solid game. The game is pretty fast paced and fun with friends, and the music is great as well. Hopefully this game gets more support in the future. The creator of the game was showing off a level creator for the PC version of Just Shapes and Beats, and honestly, I will be all over that if that ever comes out. I want to make a level based on songs from Death Grips. And with that said, that is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed what you've seen, go to the description below and follow the links to play the game. And if you guys enjoyed what you've seen, please hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I'm Nate the Gamer, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.